Hey guys, it's Brichette with Sandy Seed Company, and what are we doing at this nondescript, totally boring warehouse? Well, it's our warehouse, and I came here today to talk about what to plant in November, and the reason why we're at the warehouse is because we got a really big whiteboard, and we're gonna get a little sciencey about November and fall.
And we're gonna get a little sciencey. Sorry.
It's fall, someone's got a cold, and we're gonna get a little sciencey about what to plant in fall, and what are the critical things you need to know to make your fall garden the best. Okay, so there's one thing that you really need to know about planting in the fall in zone 9 and 10. First of all, it's a totally bizarre climate if you've lived anywhere else. It's hot and it's dry, but it's fall, right? You feel like, okay, it's supposed to be getting cooler. Well, the things that you need to know to be successful about growing in zone 9 and 10 are going to be covered in this video. Specifically, we're going to talk about the fall effect. What is it and why do you need to know what it is to be successful with your fall planting? So if you watch this whole video, not only are we going to get sciencey and talk about the sun's position in the sky and go back to 3rd grade science class, but also if you're, just kind of wanting to know exactly what to plant, I'm going to tell you so that you can get out there and get your November garden started. Okay, so we're in November and you're in the garden and you're thinking, what do I need to plant? It's weird. It's like 90 degrees outside. Doesn't feel like November. That's okay. I'm here to tell you exactly what to plant in zone 9 and 10. So in zone 9 and 10, you need to think greens and roots, okay? That is all of your leafy greens that you're gonna be consuming, all your brassicas, so broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Those are collectively called brassicas. Then you have your greens, all your lettuces, all of your kales. You have all of your alliums, so those are your garlic and your onions, your short day or intermediate day onions for zone 9 and 10 for the southern half. And then all of your roots, beets, carrots, your potatoes, it's a root. Notice I put Irish because sweet potatoes are grown in the warm spring temperatures. Irish potatoes are planted now. Radishes and turnips. Now the reason why I have all of this together is because I want to differentiate this fall planting with spring planting. So come over here. You'll notice I put no fruits. The reason why I put this is because I want you to understand why fruits are not going to thrive this time of the year. The days are too short, the sun is too low in the horizon, and being that it's so low in the horizon, it has more atmosphere for the sunlight to get through. So the sun is just simply not as strong, which means the plant can't photosynthesize as much, which means it doesn't have as much energy to make a big old watermelon or a pepper or a tomato. Don't make fun of my drawing. I'm not an artist, okay?
What is that?
It's supposed to be a pepper.
That's a pepper?
Well, leave me alone, whatever. I'm a farmer, not a drawer. You get the point. No fruits right now. They're not going to thrive. Also, the nighttime temperatures are just simply too low. Now, even in zone 9 and 10, you can't overwinter tomatoes, but when the temperatures drop consistently below 50 degrees, the tomato is going to stop setting flowers and it's really just going to be a plant for insects and disease to take over. Now, we're not just talking about veggies, let's also talk about flowers. Now, flowers are they're a little bit more difficult. There's some idiosyncrasies, but again, I'm listing them for you. We've trialed all of these plants and we know what grows really well. Planted in November here in zone 9 and 10. Alyssum, bluebell, borage, calendula, coneflower, echinacea, flax, fourclox, foxglove, gaillardia, hyssop, lavender, lupine, milkweed, nasturtium, poppy, sage, scabious, strawflower, sweet pea, and yarrow. Now, if you didn't catch any of that, guess what? There's a really easy way to have it listed on your fridge every single month, and that's with our calendar. So calendars are arriving soon and you can actually have this list ready at your fingertips every single month. We list the vegetables and the flowers that you're going to want to plant in zone 9 and 10. Now let's get into a little bit of science here, okay? Let's go to third grade science class. Why is it that we want to start broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower now, even though the temperatures are really hot? The reason being is it has to do with the amount of sunlight, okay? So a lot of new gardeners will actually wait until the temperatures get much cooler. They'll wait till like December because December feels like broccoli weather. Well, by the time you get to December, as you can see from this graphic, the hours of sunlight are going to have dropped so much that the plant is going to stall. It's going to stagnate. You can actually see what happens when you start seed for your brassicas in as early as mid-August. You can see that the growth trajectory, is that the word? I don't know. The growth pattern whatever. Trajectory. Okay, again, I'm not very good at English. Leave me alone. So the growth pattern will actually be that the plant gets much bigger, much quicker because it's taking advantage of the longer hours of sunlight. Now, let's just point out again why this doesn't work with fruits. The hours of sunlight are decreasing right now, which is going to put the plant in a vegetative stage. How do you like to eat broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower? You like to eat it before it flowers. So as that hours of sunlight gets shorter, it's going to continue to be more and more in a vegetative state, which gives you those big, beautiful heads of broccoli, nice heads of lettuce, and all of your root crops will thrive. Now don't worry, don't have any garden FOMO. I know it's November and I'm talking about planting in August. It's okay, you can start stuff in November. It's a great time to start it. Just know that the plant is going to continue to grow and then start to overwinter. And you will still get beautiful heads of broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. They'll just be a little bit later. Now, one key thing to remember is if you wait too late into the spring to plant these, what happens? They go quickly to flower and then you don't get great heads. So, it's November. Get the seeds started of your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, all of your veggie crops and your flowers so that you can enjoy the quiet, cool time that is fall in zone 9 and 10. We love that you watched this video and I'm so happy that I can be a part of helping you garden and plant the correct things in the correct season here in zone 9 and 10. But we want to hear from you. Comment in this video and tell me, what do you already have in the ground? What have you been really successful about? And maybe what have you not been so successful with? And make sure you like and subscribe so that we can grow with you together in your garden. So just remember, the fall effect is the most important part of planning your fall garden, and it will make and break your garden. So make sure if you don't fully understand, go back and rewatch our section on fall effect so that you know what it is and you know how to prepare your fall garden. All right, now the fun part, shopping. Okay, so fall garden, you want to pick out stuff that is a cool season crop. Guess what? We make it super easy for you. If you look on the back of any pack, it's going to say cool or warm. We do that specifically for zone 9 and 10. So we take all the question out for you. So any pack that says cool is going to be a good pack to plant right now in November. Some of my all-time favorites are all of my root crops. I really want to get them in right now. Things like golden beet, which interestingly enough, if you don't like beet flavor, golden beets are the least beetiest of all of the beets. Fun factoid. Also, if you don't like a kale, if you're not big into kale, we have several kales. There's our black magic. Black magic is the least kaliest of all the kales. Because, you know, why are we lying to ourselves? Who really likes the flavor of kale? Almost nobody. This one here is the least kaliest of all the kales. So one of my favorites in the garden. So I'm going to do all my root crops. I'm going to do my leafy greens, all my brassicas, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. I'm also going to do Asian greens. So one of my favorite Asian greens is the black knight tatsoi. It loves heat, so it can do really good, and it can actually be one of the first plantings you do in a very warm fall, November garden. So these guys are great. Also, don't forget your herbs. These are a great thing to start right now because they will grow in their vegetative state all the way through the fall, and then they'll really take off come spring. And lastly, don't forget flowers. I know you think of sunflowers in the summer, but here in November in zone 9 and 10 is a really good time to start a lot of your fall cool season flowers, particularly things like, flowers are over here, bum, bum, bum. All of your milkweeds, really good time to start. Your nasturtiums are really going to thrive right now. Your poppies. Again, when you're in doubt, just look at the back of the seed pack and you'll see it'll say either warm or cool. Like this amazing Snapdragon Tetra Mix is a good cool season crop to plant now in November.